What's up, the John Squad? This is John Pillini here, your YouTube World Heavyweight Champion here on YouTube, and I'm coming to my WWE Monday Night Raw review, Raw recap, I should say, for August 3rd, 2020. So let's do this. Shout out to the John Squad. So we kicked off WWE Monday Night Raw last night with a United States Championship match. We had MVP versus Apollo Crews, and before the match even begun, MVP started to cut a promo and say this to Apollo Crews that once I am all done and retain. Well, not retain, but when I defeat you, that we are going to be done with each other. So after that. So then the winner was, and still, United States champion Apollo Crews. That is right. Apollo Crews is still our United States champion. So then after the match is over, MVP gets on the mic again, talks about the power glitches and stuff like that, and says that he's challenging Apollo Crews to a match for the United States Championship at SummerSlam. Boy, things are heating up already at SummerSlam. Then we had the Kevin Owens show, and he introduces his special guest as Ruby Riott, and he talks to Ruby Riott about uh about when she beat Peyton Royce on Monday Night Raw, and Ruby Riott talks to him about Liv Morgan, and says to him that he just wants Liv Morgan to be her friend again and stuff like that. So then Liv Morgan comes out and talks to Ruby Riott, and then Ruby Riott tells Liv Morgan that they just want the Riott Squad back to be better again. So then they reunite together, and then out comes the Iconics, and they talk to Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, and we have ourselves a tag team match. And the second match we had on Raw was Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, the Riott Squad, versus the Iconics, and the winner was Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. So then we had next on Raw was Nia Jax, who gets suspended without pay, right? Who gets suspended without pay by Pat Buck, and then Nia Jax starts to beat up on Pat Buck, which I thought that was really funny there. So it was hilarious and just really funny. So that's why. So she just beats him up, and that was funny right there. So then we had Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton go face to face, and Drew McIntyre talks about Randy Orton and stuff like that. This talks about Randy Orton and talks about how Drew McIntyre talks about Orton, how he's motivated to take the WWE title off of his hands, and how he's going to be punting his head to take the title off of his hands and stuff like that, and that he's motivated to do it. So then Orton comes out and talks to Drew McIntyre and says that it's not been once but twice but forever and ever that he wants to take the title off his hands, and that's what he says right there. Saying Drew that Drew McIntyre says that he's going to defeat Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and that's what he basically talks about. So, and that he'll have to punt him in the head in order to take the title off his hands, and basically they just talk back to back to each other. So we'll have to get forward and story that one. That's what they basically just talk about them doing. So the third match on Raw was a 24/7 championship match, triple threat match we had was R-Truth versus Sultan Benjamin versus Akira Tozawa. And the winner was, and we have ourselves a new 24/7 champion, Akira Tozawa. Then the next match we had on Raw was uh, Shayna Baszler versus Sasha Banks. And this match ends in a no contest because Asuka comes out and starts to attack Bayley. I don't know why the referee rang the bell. And so then after the match was over, Asuka gets on the mic, says Kairi Sane will be okay. And that Asuka's still here and that she challenged Sasha Banks to a Raw Women's Championship match at SummerSlam, and that Shayna Baszler is cheering for Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam, and that the reason why Shayna Baszler wants her to win is because the reason why she wants her to win at SummerSlam is because the reason why she wants her to win at SummerSlam is because that she wants to take the Raw Women's title away from Asuka. So then Sasha Banks comes out and talks to Shayna Baszler and Asuka and tells Asuka that if she could beat Bayley next week on Monday Night Raw, then she will get the Raw Women's Championship title shot at SummerSlam. Which, spoiler alert, I think Asuka's gonna beat Bayley next week on Monday Night Raw. So in the fifth match we had on Raw was Daba Kata versus two local jobbers in our first ever Raw Underground match, and the winner was Daba Kata. That's what we had in. Shane McMahon hosted this Raw Underground match. Then another match we had on Raw was Angel Garza versus Angelo Dawkins, and the winner was Angel Garza. So then the next match we had on Raw was Montez Ford versus Andrade, and the winner was no one because the referee had to stop this match due to a stoppage because Montez Ford collapsed into the ring. That's what happened there. Boy, Montez Ford is a good actor too, by the way, so it looked like he really did collapse. But that's what happened there. So then Seth Rollins comes out. Oh yeah, but then before we get on to that, so we had another underground match. We had was another match was on Raw was Eric versus a local jobber in the underground match, and Eric was the winner and defeated the local jobber. So then we had Seth Rollins who comes out and talks about Dominic and talks to Tom Phillips and yells at Tom Phillips, goes directly over to him and says, Tom Phillips, you were cheering for Dominic last Monday. Everybody can hear you. That's what he says. So then he starts to go off on Tom Phillips, which I just thought was hilarious. I posted even on my Instagram story. Go follow me on the John Squad 244 on Instagram. Because I even posted. It was just hilarious. I couldn't get over it out of the way he's yelling at Tom Phillips. So this seems like everybody yells at Tom Phillips. So he yells at Tom Phillips and he talks about his journalist job and next thing you know, and Samoa Joe gets up and says, I'm going to take out your disciple Murphy. I'm going to take him out, and then I'm going to take out you. So then, next thing you know, we go to commercial, and then next thing you know, we get back on, and then he says, this is how you want to go. So the Seth Rollins gets ready to go, and then next thing you know is that Dominic comes out from behind and attacks Seth Rollins from behind with a kendo stick, takes out Murphy, takes out Rollins. Then Seth Rollins goes up on top of the stage and says to Dominic that he accepts his SummerSlam challenge at SummerSlam, and that's what he accepted. So then we had another underground match was Dolph Ziggler versus a local jobber, and Dolph Ziggler was the winner. So then the final part we had on Raw was the Hurt Crews, whatever their name is, the Hurt people, whatever MVP's group name is, went to the underground and invaded it. And MVP says that the Hurt business, that's right, the Hurt business. They say that they are going to take over the underground, and MVP Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin go in there, and Bobby Lashley takes out a local jobber in the underground. Then MVP wants to have a go at it, so he takes out one of the local jobbers. And then Shelton Benjamin has a crack at it and takes out one of the local jobbers. And then that's how it ends with Champion saying, whoa, 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 then this is good because you're welcome into the underground on Mondays, so then that's how it happens, and then MVP says, this is what the Hurt Business does, boom, and that's what happens to WWE Monday Night Raw last night. I thought this was a pretty good, decent Raw this Monday. I thought it was a pretty good, decent Raw with Shane McMahon doing the Raw Underground matches and stuff like that. So, anyway, once again, the John Squad, please like this video, leave your comments down below, and subscribe for more. You're all the best of John Squad. You're all one of a kind. Love each and every single one of you guys. You mean a lot to me. Don't forget to stay positive, stay healthy. I love you guys. Peace out, the John Squad. Love you guys. Love you guys. Stay positive.